In this video, we're going to be talking about finding the area of an object. Now, the area is the space inside an object. And specifically in mathematics, it's how many squares fit inside an object. Now, they're going to give you different types of objects, triangles, circles, whatever they give you. You're still trying to find how many squares fit inside that object. Now, this is the reason you will get answers that look like this: 40 feet squared. What they're telling you is there are 40 1 by 1 foot squares inside that. And that's the reason that exponent right there is called a square, because it's talking about a two-dimensional object, a square. So this is the reason you'll get answers like this. Like if you're finding the area, they would give you 40 feet squared. That could be an answer. 34.7 square feet. That could be an answer. 7 square meters, or 65 centimeters squared. They're talking about how many squares fit inside an object. So looking at this one, how many squares fit inside the object? Well, I could count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So what is the area of this object? It's 20. 20 squares. 20 squares fit inside there. Now there are other ways that you can do this, meaning when they say there are other ways, they're trying to find simpler ways. Because I may be given an object like this. It's going to take me much longer to count all the squares inside here. So what I can do to make it easier or make it simpler, or a shortcut, is this. I can simply count the number of squares on one side and the other side and multiply them together, and that will tell me how many squares are in there. That's the reason when you find the area of something, you multiply. So let's do that. Instead of having to count all the squares, I'm going to count the squares over here on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 squares on that side. Now I'm going to find the number of squares on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 squares on this side. If I take those two numbers, 10 times 8, and multiply them together, I'll get 80 squares. Let's see if it works on the previous example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 on this one. 5 times 4 is 20. So by multiplying one side and the other side, now I only have to multiply two sides. It's going to tell me how many squares total are in there. By multiplying, I don't have to count every single one of them. Same with this one. Once I figure out how many are over here on this side, multiply it by how many are over here on this side, I can figure out how many are in there without having to count. So example number 1, it says find the area. They didn't give you any squares in here to count. But if I take one side and multiply it to the other side, it will tell me how many squares would fit in there. So I'm going to take this side right here, which is 10. I'm going to multiply it to this side right here, which is 12. There would be, or I could fit, 120 squares inside there. So this is the way you would normally see these problems. There's no squares there, but they can give you a multitude of different types of problems where you have to find the area. Here's another example. It says find the area if each square is 3 feet. That means each one of these squares is 3 feet. They want to know how many 1-foot squares fit in this entire thing. So if each one of these is 3 feet, what number am I going to label this side right here? Let me say that again. If each one of these is 3 feet, what's the length of this side right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 is the length of this side right here because each one of these squares is 3 feet. It's 3 feet by 3 feet. 3 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet, a total of 15 feet. I need to find the length of this side right here. That's 3 plus 3 plus 3, or 3 times 3 is 9. Once I find the length, just like the previous one, I simply multiply those together. 15 times 9. 15 times 9 is 135. And since I'm dealing with feet, I need to tell somebody that because in this other one, there was no unit. It was just 120 squares can fit in there. In this one, 135 1 foot by 1 foot squares. You can write it that way. Or I could write it that way. So, to find the area, I need to find the length of one side and the length of the other side. But I need to know what each square is going to be inside there. So let's do this one. Let's try this one on our own. Find the area if each square is 5 feet. I first need to find the length of this side right here. What's the length of that side going to be? The length of this side is 25. 5 times 5 is 25. What's the length of this side right here? 5 times 3 is 15. Now when I multiply these two numbers together to find the area, I'm figuring out how many 1 foot by 1 foot squares fit inside there. So 25 times 15 is equal to 375. So 25 times 15 is 375 square feet. And that's what that exponent right there, that is a square. An exponent of 2 has a special name, squared.